Today we're going to talk about 10 hard lessons learned from building a hybrid backup power system and what actually failed. What I learned could save you money, frustration, and dangerous mistakes. Moving from a conceptual hybrid backup power strategy to a real-world deployment is exactly where most systems either become rock solid or fail when you need them most. And the gap is almost never the concept, it's the execution and the details. What I'm sharing here is a practical, experience-driven set of lessons I learned the hard way, organized in the same order you actually encounter them in the field. Things like refrigerators, sump pumps, microwaves, furnace blowers, well pumps, and especially electric dryers or air conditioning unless you have a soft start. These can surge 2 and 3 times their normal running load. Luckily, these surges usually don't happen all at once or all at the same time. But here's the problem. Essential loads creep fast. Routers, televisions, chargers, and power stations will shut down or reduce output if surge limits are exceeded. Even if your average load looks fine, that's a bad way to find out when you're underestimated your system and it shuts down. What I found that works is measure actual circuit wattage with a clamp meter and keep a written list. Test simultaneous startups, especially high surge devices, and build a 25 to 40% buffer into your system sizing so unexpected surges don't take you offline. Lesson 2. Clean connections are harder than they look. Connecting everything cleanly is the hardest part. Concept diagrams look clean. Real wiring does not. Mine was a mess. Common friction points are interlock versus transfer switches, cable compatibility, 30 amp, 50 amp, 120 volt, and power-driven pass-through limitations. What I found that works were the following. Standardize around one backbone, for example, a 30 amp system. Label every cable and connection. Pre-stage all cables so they can be deployed quickly in the dark. I learned that lesson the hard way in the dark. You ever tried it? It's hard. Pre-stage all cables so they can be deployed quickly, and pre-stage flashlights, batteries, and basic lighting from the panel to bedrooms to the basement. Lesson 3. Fuel logistic brake systems, not hardware. Gasoline degrades quickly, moisture clogs carburetors, and requires rotation and treatment. Propane is stable but finite, and usage per watt matters. Natural gas offers the best continuity because it always is present at the home, but it's not available to everyone. What I found that works is a dual fuel or tri-fuel generator strategy is a must. Store more fuel than you think you need, 2 to 3 times more. Run generators monthly for at least 20 minutes to recharge batteries. Change oil every 50 to 100 hours. And practice refueling or connecting LPG gas or natural gas safely under stress, and most importantly, in the dark. Cold and extreme heat reduce battery efficiency. Some power stations won't operate outside specific temperature ranges. Some units have internal warmers, which consumes additional watts, and some do not. Snow, rain complicate generator placement. Most generators are not designed to sit outside in a rain or a hailstorm or a snowstorm for extended periods, and carbon monoxide safety becomes critical. Pre-plan generator placement, distance and exhaust direction. Use weather covers while maintaining ventilation. Install carbon monoxide detectors. That is not negotiable. You don't want to wake up some morning with everybody in your household sick or even worse. And test how heat and cold affect stored wattage during charging and discharging. Lesson 5. Human error during a grid to generator switching is a real risk. Confusion under stress leads to questions like, what turns on first? What turns on next? Which must stay off? Where's my first breaker list? Backfeeding power lines is a serious hazard if done incorrectly. What I found works is create a step-by-step checklist. Label panel circuits safely and clearly. and run practice drills and practice drills and practice drills and practice drills, because stress always reveals gaps. And most importantly, practice in the dark continuously. I over-engineered my system. That's lesson 6. And it reduced reliability. Too many components create failure points. Complex routing slows response time. And what worked for me was design fast deployment in the dark, reduce decision points, favor repeatable setup and maximum capability, and know your system and train on it. Lesson 7. Systems that aren't tested fail. Most issues only appear under real load. Wattage drops, unexpected shutdowns, overheating cables, generators, bogging down with voltage instability. What I found that works is run full stress tests with heavy loads, heavier than you normally would run. Simulate night outages, cold weather, hot and humid conditions, and extended run times, days, not hours. Human behavior changes during outages, and that's what lesson 8 is all about. People use more lighting than expected. They change devices constantly. Someone's always sneaking one more load in the dryer. And high-draw appliances get voided once people are trained. What I found works is define clear power tiers. Tier 1, your survival. Tier 2, comfort. And Tier 3, convenience. That most of the time will cause you to have either a sluggish generator or maybe even some of your equipment to stop operating in your house. Each tier has a known wattage budget, and you probably have to keep up with that and make continual twists and turns with it, and have to agree with everybody in your family what we really need to run and when we need to run it. Lesson 9. If only you can run it, it's not resilient. If only you can operate the system, it's not resilient. Family members may not know how to run it. If you're not home, who's going to turn it on? Small mistakes can cause shutdowns, hazards, or accidents. What I found that works is create laminated quick start guides with color-coded cable mapping. Label everything. Train at least one other person who is reliable and is at home most of the time and knows how to work under stress. And keep medical kits where they can be found in the dark. I tripped and cut myself when I was doing one of the tests, and I had a hard time finding bandages to cover up the wound so I didn't bleed all over everything. Lesson 10. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know until it's too late. The system that works in real life is not the most powerful. It's the only one you can deploy correctly, quickly, and safety, and under stress. Setting up my own system in the dark was a real eye-opener. Even with a flashlight, switching from grid to battery through an interlock was harder than I expected, and my fingers were always operating clumsily. In summary, I thought I had the perfect hybrid backup power system until I actually tested it from end to end in the dark. And may I say it again, dark really matters. What I learned could save you money, frustration, and dangerous mistakes. And I'll say that again. Documentation matters. Create PDFs. You can update as your process evolves. Keep hard copies near your electrical panel. I've linked my checklist in the description below. You may want to take a look at it. You may even want to model it. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit subscribe and click the like button. And thanks, and have a great day. And here's to the next time you get to test your system.